Today ended up being a pretty big one for a couple of Huntsville city schools after both Lee and Grissom welcomed in new head football coaches. This afternoon, we were introduced to Irving McGuire and Rich Dutton. McGuire will be ahead of the Generals this upcoming season, while Dutton will be replacing Chip English at Grissom. The new leader of the Tigers comes from Lawrence County, where he spent the last 9 seasons as head coach. Prior to his time there, he assisted at schools like Russellville and Austin. He says he's excited to live up to the expectations Grissom fans tend to hold.
I think it's time. 9 years is a lengthy time in today's football, but I'm so happy to be in a situation where I'm at Grissom High School right now.
For the Generals, their new head coach brings some personal experience. A native of North Alabama, McGuire's played ball at J.O. Johnson High School and then later played at Stillman College. His coaching brought him to Tuscaloosa County, where he served as a defensive coordinator. He says it's a dream to be able to coach back in his hometown.
It's a dream come true to come back home and really help build up my community.